Hi everyone, hope you're all keeping well. This video is going to take you through some hip stretches which hopefully you'll find useful. Particularly useful if you've been sat a lot recently and you're finding that you're getting quite a lot of stiffness and tightness around the front of the hip. Also really good to complement any walking, any running, and we're going to look at opening up the gluteal area around the hip as well. As always, take your time and enjoy. So to begin with, we're just going to start in a wide squat position. So we're going to take those feet nice and wide, just checking that the heels have got that good alignment. Toes are at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. And then when you're ready, we're just going to soften those knees. You can either let the hands float to shoulder level, or if you're happier, you can keep hands on the hips, or you can even keep hands across the chest. So the idea here is we're just softening around the anterior hip, around the front of the hip there. Exhaling as we come down, inhaling back up. So it's all nice and slow, nice and controlled. I'm very much thinking about our foot posture. So if you imagine a little bit of balance between your big toe, little toe, center of the heel on both sides, that's just making sure we're getting that good, even weight bearing. Okay, we're just going to do 3 more. And then release. Perfect. So we're going to keep that posture maybe just a tad wider, and then we're going to take it down about a third of the way, and we're just going to start taking that weight through the right side, a little stretch through that left inner thigh, come back to center, and then taking it over that left side, so we're lengthening through the right side and then back to center. So we're trying to just keep about a third of the way down. We're keeping everything else in that nice and neutral position and just holding it for a couple of seconds on each side. Again, you might choose to hold it a little bit longer if you wish. Keeping that length through the spine. And that feels really nice just to start warming up that inner thigh area. Perfect, let's go for 1 more each way. I'm just going to hold it a little bit longer there. Just feeling that inner thigh on that left side begin to release. Come back to center. And then one last time as we take it over to that left side. And again, just beginning to feel that inner thigh area release. Come back to center and relax. Perfect. So we're going to take it into a little bit of a deeper stretch now. We're going to keep that left foot forward and we're going to take that right foot out to the side. Again, just have a check that you've got that good alignment between the heels. We're going to start taking that weight through the right knee, slowly back to center. And again, so just taking your time, very much keeping that right foot, big toe, little toe, center of the heel. Think of your triangle of balance, just to keep ourselves anchored. And also just have a check that that knee is gliding over the toes as well, so that knee feels comfortable. Perfect. Again, chest lifted, shoulders down and back. Brilliant. And let's go for 3 more. Perfect. Exhaling. Inhaling. And then 1 more. Slowly back in. And this time if we change, right foot is forward, left foot is out to the side, and again, you can choose to go wider in your stance. Bear in mind that that's a bit of a deeper stretch. It's always best to start off with a firm stance, and you can increase that as you feel comfortable. Again, taking that weight through, and then back up. So that left side now, we've got that good balance. Our triangle of balance in that left foot is nice and centered. We've got that lift through the chest, shoulders are nice and relaxed down the back. And again, it's interesting because one side versus the other, I always say, might feel a little bit different, might not, might feel equal for yourself. But sometimes it's okay if one side feels a bit stiffer, a little bit easier, because we're not always symmetrical on both sides, and that's nothing to worry about. But it just means then we might not go as deep into that range straight away and allow ourselves to build up. Brilliant. Exhaling as we come through. Inhaling to release. Exhaling. Inhaling. And then 1 more as we exhale. Inhale back. Super. Now we're going to take it back over. So we've got right foot out to the side, left foot is forward. So we're taking it into that nice wide stance. We're taking that weight through the right leg. We take that left hand up and we can just take it into a nice overhead stretch. Now, really important with this right knee, you're pushing your knee to the back of the room. And as soon as you do that and push that right foot into the mat, you get that real nice opening sensation through that right inner thigh. Keep that knee position. You can release the hand and we're going to do 3 more. So exhale over. Inhale to relax. Exhale over. Inhale to relax. Brilliant. And we'll just do 1 more. So starting to feel that tension building there. And then we'll release the hand, release that leg. Perfect. And let's change over. So again, right foot is forward, left foot is out to the side. We've got that good alignment between the heels. First of all, we take that weight through that left knee, knees gliding over the toes. And when we're ready, that right hand comes up and over into a nice mermaid stretch. Keep that leg position, but release the hand. Perfect. Exhale over. Inhale, release. Brilliant. 3 more. Exhale. Inhale, brilliant. Keeping that left knee pushed to the back of the room, feeling that opening up through that left inner thigh. Last time there as we exhale over. And inhale, release. And just walk those feet back in. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to take it down onto the mat now. So we're going to come into a half kneeling position. So with this, we've got that right knee forward and we've got that ankle over the knee and we've got our left knee over the hip. If your knees aren't comfortable in that position, feel free to pop a blanket or a pillow underneath that left knee so it's a little bit more comfortable for you there. So keep it here as well, is keeping that pelvis nice and level. What we're going to do is we're going to start to push that left hip forward. So we start to open up the hip flexors and feel that nice stretch. Now sometimes what you can find is we want to stick the chest out, stick the tummy out, and we increase that curve in the lower back. So sometimes that can feel a little bit uncomfortable and we lose that full benefit. So let's just have a moment, tuck that pelvis under, and then when you're ready, we're going to push that left hip forward, just to that point where you're getting that real nice opening sensation there. Again, shoulders back and down, nice and relaxed. Imagine that piece of string on the top of the head, creating that length, and then just release. Perfect. And again, so just exhaling as we come forward, feeling that stretch. Inhale to release. And again, so we've got that exhale again. You might find you go a little bit further with each one, see how it feels. What can feel quite nice as well to open up even further that anterior hip area is to reach that left hand up and nice and slowly come over to that right side. So a little bit of a balance challenge, really pushing that right foot into the mat now, keeping the knee over the ankle, and then just release that hand down. And we'll just do 2 more here. So again, we want that stretch on that front of the hip. Inhale that arm up, exhale over. Come back down, and then 1 more, making sure we've got that tension back on if we're relaxed. Inhaling, exhaling, and then release. Now while we're in that position, we can then stretch the opposite hamstring area. So for this, we're just going to allow ourselves to straighten that right leg if you can. Now I've got some blocks here. What you can use at home are books or a few pillows or a few cushions. So sometimes what can feel quite nice is if you've got your blocks there, if you're not very bendy, my hamstrings aren't my bendiest point, what you'll find is you might straighten your leg with the heel down and that is it. You don't want to do anything else from there and that's fine. As long as you feel the stretch, you're getting the benefit. What can feel quite nice is if you allow yourself to just let the bottom sink back, bring the toes backwards. Again, you can do it without blocks, but if you've got your blocks there, sometimes it just gives you a little bit more relaxation because rather than having to cling on up here, you can let your bottom stick back and you can just concentrate then on getting that lovely stretch down the back of your right hamstring. You might find you're even getting a little bit of a quad stretch on the opposite side. And then we can just release that stretch there. Okay, And again, you might want to do 2 or 3 stretches in that position, just holding it for a good at least 10 seconds, up to about 30 seconds. And then releasing, and then we'll just do one more. And again, what you might find is throughout each stretch cycle, you might be able to go a little bit lower, but big thing is don't overforce yourself, just go with what feels good. Okay. Perfect. So we're gonna change around. So this time we're opening up the right hip flexor. So we've got that left knee, left ankle position sorted. Pelvis is in that neutral position. And again, to begin with, we're just going to push that right hip forward, keeping our lower back in that neutral position. And then releasing. Exhaling. Inhaling. And again, you can just test the water out, see how it feels on that side. Nice length through the back of the neck, back of the spine. And you might find that that feels enough for yourself. Okay, so that's fine. Again, if you wish to open up the hip area a little bit further, we can take that right hand up, come forward so we've got that tension, and then nice and slowly into that left side bend. We just feel it a little bit deeper into that right hip. Take that hand back to centre, and you can either release and relax if you need to, or again you can do 2 or 3, keeping that stretch on. Nice opening up there, that feels amazing, especially if you've had a bit of a week of more sitting than you're normally used to. Those hip flexors need a real good stretch out. But again, other activities, walking, running, cycling, so it's always useful to do a few of these types of stretches after your activities, just to release any tension there. Now we're going to take it into that opposite hamstring. So again, we want that left heel down if you can. If you're still got a slight bend in your knee, work with what your body is able to do. And then from there, we're just going to let that bottom come back. Again, if you've got your books, your pillows, your blocks, you can always hold on to those for a little bit of support. Holding it there, anywhere between 10-30 seconds, see what feels good, and then releasing. Brilliant. And again, you might want to pad out that right knee with a blanket, a pillow, a cushion. We're getting that lovely stretch through the back of the hamstring into the calf, a little bit of quad stretch maybe on that right side. Super. I'll do one more there, so exhaling back, nice and relaxed. Might find you go a little bit further if you're happy to, and then come back and release. Okay, so last stretch we're going to take it into is our pigeon stretch. So again, real good way to open up the posterior hip area, our gluteal area. So this time we're going to take that right leg forward and the left leg is behind. Now what you might find is that might feel as much as your hip wishes to go. So it's probably a good idea to keep your hands on the mat, and you can choose how deep you wish to take it. If you're able to, what you're trying to aim for is getting that leg forward. So you can always use your hand if you needed to take that leg forward. And sometimes what can feel quite nice, again, a few pillows or a cushion or a block underneath that right side can just give you something to relax onto. Okay. Again, you're trying to avoid any rotation through the hips, so if you can, try and keep those hips as square as possible. And again, shoulders are nice and relaxed. And for this one, you're just holding it there, again, anywhere between 10 and 30 seconds. If you've done that stretch before and you feel comfortable to, I'm just going to move that block to show you. What you can always do from there is take it a little bit deeper. So you're coming down onto the forearms. And if you're happy to, you can even let yourself just relax there. Okay. But again, see what feels good for you there. Okay, so let's change it over now. So we bring that leg in. We're going to take that left leg forward. Okay, so again, we want the hips nice and square. You can always pop a cushion, a block underneath that left hip so you can let yourself relax. If you're new to that stretch, that can feel quite nice. Hips are square, shoulders relaxed, a nice big inhale to that base of the lung area. So again, that lovely deep inhale, big exhale through the mouth and release. And again, if you've done that stretch before, you might find you want to come down onto the forearms, okay? And again, if you've had a bit of experience, you can always let your head relax, whatever feels good for you, but always as comfort allows. Okay, so we're just going to come out of there for a moment. So that's just a few ideas for hip stretches. Again, really good to just try them through the day whenever you're feeling you're a little bit tight and you're in need of some relief, or you can add it in after your exercise, again, just to make sure we're keeping those hips nice and supple. I hope you enjoyed it and stay tuned for more videos to come. Thanks for watching.